what a beautiful movie you made. Congrats. And again.
That's very nice to hear.
Oh,
Thank you.
you.
It's so lovely, and there are so many details, and there's so much soul in it. I really loved it, and I enjoyed it, and I actually watched it several times. From the idea of making Soul to the final movie, how did you approach to telling the story?
Well, it's a little bit like sculpting or something, where you start with a little blob and you add some things and then you take that part away. But the core of it was really born of the idea that we all seem to have a personality from the day we're born. You know, looking at my own kids who are now young adults, I could see them in there from the time they first showed up, and we started to just think about, how is that possible? Where did that come from? There must be a place that trains our souls and gives them personality. And so the great before that idea of, this place was kind of the very beginnings of it. And then we added on to that and started to think about, well, what if there's one soul who doesn't want to go? What if that seems intriguing? And then maybe there's another soul who has to convince her why she should go. And so, just again, we added on ideas and then tried a lot of stuff.
With your movies, you have a lot of influence on children and also on adults, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of it, but how do you deal with it? I mean, Pete, you have kids, as you told me. Is it like, okay, I want my children to believe this, but I don't want them to think that? How do you do it?
I kind of mostly ignore it, the kid thing, and all right, listen. I'm consciously aware at all times that who our audience is, but I guess in terms of the sense of responsibility, the social responsibility, that's pretty weighty, and I try to approach it more with, like, my primary job is to tell the truth as I see it and deliver something that's as impactful as possible. And so from there, on this film, of course, we had a huge group of people that helped consult with us on Joe's culture, on what it's like to be a teacher, what it's like to be a jazz musician, and all of those elements kind of went into the stew to make it as truthful as we could. But I guess in terms of trying to affect the way my kids live their life or what they believe, I better do that more in my actions than in the movies.
Yeah, I think when kids, the children of the people who do this kind of stuff have a different worldview because they've seen the sausage get made for so many years. Mm-hmm. That, like, I don't know about you, but me writing in theater and television even before this, they have different tastes and they approach this stuff in a more sophisticated way than other kids do. Like, my kids look at animated features now and they criticize story points in a way that it feels like they're in the brain trust. It's very bizarre. I just think that they're too close to it, and they overheard too many of our conversations. So they have a very different view of the work that we do than I don't want to say normal, but then other kids.
Yeah, that's why we don't test these. We don't test the films in LA, because the kids are like, your second act denouement is a little, it should be on page 47. You're like, wow,
exactly.
That's funny.
So, as I mentioned, I've watched it, I've watched the movie, I think, 3 times, because I was so looking forward to do that, because I know that there are always some hidden gems, some tributes, and I found one. It was the sticker wall with the names. So I clicked on pause, and I was like, okay, names. So I found Albert Einstein and so many other, and then I found Joe Ranft. So he was a creative at Pixar. Mm-hmm. That was one tribute. How do you, I'm always wondering, what happens? Do you have special meetings, like tribute and hidden gems meetings at Pixar, and you go okay, who wants to hide something? How does it work?
Danny, you better talk about that.
Well, we do contribute ideas. Some of it is debated over, like way too much, because like you'd be surprised. Like we'd put a name for it, be like, that sounds like a great idea, and then someone in the crew inevitably comes forward and says, well, in history they did something horrible. So but our art department has a lot of fun in placing graphics and hidden gems all over the place. But yeah, I feel like people all over the crew, including us, we try to put little hidden gems for audience members like you who enjoy it.
As well,
so
as
there are a lot of other.
Sorry.
I said we put stuff in there just for our friends and family. It's kind of fun at the end of the process getting this massive document that's like all of the things, the hidden gems that have been put in, because in a lot of cases, we don't even know what's been put into the film until it's done. And then we get a huge document that shows everything.
That's amazing. Okay, our time is up. Thank you so much. And keep on doing those great movies. Thank you.
Thank you for enjoying them.
Thank you, Sue.
Bye.
Bye.